Hi guys, and welcome back to OG Cars. And in today's video you join us back with our white Fiat Panda 4x4, and we're going to do a couple of little bits to it in this one. In the last video I did show you guys that this interior was suitably ruined, plenty of tears and holes, and I just had to get another interior for this car. So I did find a very nice Fiat Panda Parade interior, big thanks to Sarah in Yorkshire, as we went up in Pandino to go and collect this, but unfortunately the car broke down. More on that in another video, but we ended up getting a higher Qashqai and picking up that interior, but G's 1000CL needs an interior. So we've put the Parade one to the side for that, and James Wood, big thanks to him as well, has offered us a original style beige Fiat Panda 4x4 interior. So we picked that up in the Qashqai as well, came down from Yorkshire, and now we've got both interiors here. And what we're going to do is get this one out and see how it compares to the one that James has given us. Does it go backwards? I'm sure it goes backwards. Okay, so you join us inside, and as you can see the seats are absolutely ruined, especially the driver's one. Ignore that random gopping seat support on the passenger side. But yeah, basically we're just going to take these out now. So you just flip the carpet up, there's 3 bolts holding the front on, and then I think you just have to push the tabs in on the back and push it back. So we'll just get those seats out now. Let's see what we got. Ooh, there we go. They were a little bit stiff where they hadn't moved for a while, but they're out now. And I'm just going to remove the rear seats, which is literally 2 screws either side. So let's just whip them out now. Oh. Oh dear. Okay, so a minor inconvenience. Obviously these screws come out, you drop it off the latch, you push the seatbelt through, out it comes. But this, no, this was hard to lift. It's because the carpet, look at that, it's literally fused to the bottom of the seat and it's ripped all the insulation up underneath it, so that's great. No idea why somebody has glued the rear seat to the little insulation section underneath, but there we are. It's out now, and I hope you can see why we're changing these seats. It's mostly the driver's seat, admittedly. It's really dirty, it's really worn, especially on the lower section here. It's probably one of the worst seats I've seen anyway. There's a little bit of wear on the rear seat just at the bottom there, and it's super mouldy. And I figured if I'm gonna change this one, and I can get a whole interior, then we may as well. Let's have a little look at James's interior. This is James's interior. So we haven't actually cleaned it up yet. It does need a really good clean, and I think it'll come up quite well. But as you can see, there's no major tearing on anything. Everything looks in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of wear to the driver's base, but ultimately there's no tears, and it might clean up fairly well anyway. So big thanks to James for letting us take this, and I think it'll make a big difference to the car. Now we're going to be taking the carpet out because I have a new carpet and headlining, which is a similar-ish colour to the original interior. Now I couldn't actually get the original from James, and the Parade interior didn't have these bits either. So ultimately I'm going to reuse those sizzly bits that I already have, which are in really good condition. So what we're going to do is just take some bits off now, see if we can get this carpet out and see what's lurking underneath. You never know with these things. Carpets are relatively easy to take out on these. You've got some clips along the back, you've got some side trims that are screwed in, a couple other bits that are screwed in that you just take out. But somebody has actually managed to glue this rear section and the carpet all together, so it's going to be a little bit sticky. Screws, come undone. Well everyone, I'm just undoing the seat belts, and this is the noise. I'm hoping you can hear it with the mic. Oh, sounds like you stepped on a Malteser. Well everybody, the crunching has stopped, so I think it'll be fine. Just fine. Right, let's see if we can get this out. Somebody glued this. Wouldn't put it past them. Oh, why is it wet? Ugh. Okay, we're most of the way there. I just had to remove a couple of, there's like a couple of little metal clips on the front. I've just pulled them back and smelt whatever rat's ass has been down the front of there. And it should just easily, once you get that bit out, just come out. And now for the bits that I was not so sure about, everyone. This. Now I'm going to do what my dad always told me not to do, which is don't poke the rust spot. This bit is not entirely ideal. This is the seatbelt anchorage for the driver. I mean, it doesn't matter who it's for. Ultimately, whoever has this as a seatbelt anchorage is going to die. Oh, who did that welding? Oh, bird shit welding there as well. Lovely little plate already, and it's yeah. Oh, it's going to need another one just down there. Oh no, not again. It's not as bad, but oh, okay, it is. Admittedly, that has depressed me very slightly. There's obviously a couple of plates that need welding on each side on the inner upper sill there. I do need to have another look underneath, because I remember looking underneath and being quite pleasantly surprised at this car. So it's quite surprising that it's already had a couple of plates on the top there and it's already gone sort of like a bit further. Luckily, it doesn't look too advanced. It's just a couple of plates each side. So I'm gonna, yeah, sit down with my grinder and my welder, and I'm just gonna sort it all out. The next night, sort it out I did. I started by cutting out some of the rusty areas, and then after that I had to basically get the grinder out, prep all of the areas for my new plates. So I made some new plates, I prepped them, I cut them up and put them up to the car, and then I cracked on and started welding. So I've got a hitbox gas welder, but unfortunately I don't have any gas. So it's currently running non-gas just on the flux core wire, but I managed to weld some plates in, and after that I got the spray out and basically just gave it a bit of underseal just to give it all a bit of protection. And it's not the best welding in the world, but ultimately it's solid, and that is what matters. So at that point I'm finished, and I've decided to clean up the interior I got from James. So I started by just spraying them and wiping them, and we're just going to have to give them a bit more of a clean later down the line and see how well they come up. Right, we're back here, and it appears I've been an absolute donut. Now, when I got those seats, I thought, well, in fact, I thought I knew that I had a carpet and headlining from a beige original 500 Sisley, which was a Cappy write-off and ended up being scrapped years ago, and I took loads of parts and kept them. So I thought, oh, I'll just pop to my parents, pick up the headlining and carpet, and that can go in with the nice new interior. They're sort of like a similar colour style, the beige sort of style. I thought it would be really nice. Unfortunately, that carpet has ceased to exist. I believe maybe I've sold it or given it to somebody else. I don't know what's happened, but ultimately that carpet definitely came out of the car and was definitely in my parents' garage. But at some point I've sold various bits, and unfortunately that was one of the bits. So what have I done? I've binned the original carpet for this car. So I'm going to need to find a carpet. I think I know exactly where to find one. Oh. I'm going to have to say sorry to JP, because this is exactly where I'm going to find my carpet, and also the steering cowling, because I can't find any of my spares. So I'm going to be basically ripping apart JP for these pieces. Now, before you shout at me, this carpet doesn't really go with my nice new green interior anyway, because it's sort of like the beigey grey style that came with the grey Sisley. So I think the carpet would be better off in the other car. And if anyone knows of a nice rubber Panda carpet for sale, or any other carpet that goes with a green one, please let me know, because I'm going to be needing one. With the carpet out and cleaned, I'm now waiting for the underseal to dry and the carpet to dry as well. So we'll reconvene on this, and you'll probably revisit the next video when everything's just in, because all of that work is done now. But there's one more thing I want to do in this video, and while I've got G's attention, I figure it'll probably be easier with her as well. So let's go and have a look at our next job. And our next job is more rust removal, basically, because the boot lid has ceased to exist on the lower section. This one is perfect. It came off of a 1000 CLX that was my second ever car, and was basically bought for parts because it was so rusty, but the boot lid's perfectly fine. So that's perfect. Obviously needs a respray, as does the rest of the car anyway. I've got a passenger door down here, ignore Betty's driver's door. But this passenger door, while not perfect, is so much better than the one that's on there. So let's get those put on now. Okay everyone, I've just taken the wiring out and G is very annoyed that I've made her stand there while I get my impact gun to undo the boot lid. Sorry G. With the removal of a rusty boot lid, and G's not going to drop it on a Twingo. Oh, let's get that out of the way.
Hold on, move it.
And now we must see if it shuts. Thank you. Oh, it shuts. There's only 2 loose bolts holding the store on right now. Right, well they're not steel toe cap work safe shoes, are they? An issue has become apparent. The ratcheting spanner gets stuck against the car. Who needs a Seat Terravan when you have this? You literally...
One bolt.
Okay. Right. So for clarity, this door is obviously not the best. It's had a bit of filler work down the bottom before, so it's going to need a little bit of repair. And when it goes in for a respray, I'll be asking my guy to sort that out for me. But either way, it's better than the crunchy nut cornflakes that I just heard crushing on the floor at the bottom of that door edge. So yeah, at least this one sounds relatively solid. Right, that's the door on. Obviously it needs a bit more work, but I'll let whoever's respraying it deal with that. As I say, better than that one. There's now 3 colours. We've got CLX black, the original white-ish, it's not anymore, but it was. And we've got Sizzly green as well. So 3 different colours, a couple of new panels. What have we done? We've done the interior strip, we've got another interior, and basically we've got it all cleaned up. So what we're going to do is in the next video reconvene with everything back inside. And what we're going to do is next up look underneath and see what else we have to do on this car. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching everyone. Like, comment and subscribe. We'll see you then.